$1 million. In Tokyo, it might buy you a room barely big enough to sleep in. In another city, the same money buys a luxury penthouse, a private courtyard, or an entire building. This video shows what $1 million really gets you around the world. The same amount of money, completely different lives. So the question is not how much you have, it's where you are. And by the end of this video, you might be surprised where $1 million goes the furthest. New York. With $1 million, you can buy an apartment right next to Central Park. 60 square meters, 1 bedroom, 1 living space. Outside your window, one of the most expensive locations on earth. Every square meter is used: a bed, a small desk, a compact kitchen, storage built into the walls, furniture that folds, slides, disappears. Nothing is wasted, because here space is not just space, it's privilege. If 60 square meters already cost $1 million, imagine what 120 would cost in Manhattan. Manhattan is one of the most densely packed places on the planet. Space is limited, demand is endless, and location pushes prices into the stratosphere. Here, you're not paying for square meters, you're paying for access. Developers squeeze every inch into functionality, not because it's stylish, but because space itself is a luxury. Micro apartments exist for people who accept the trade-off. Less room, more status. Because living here isn't about comfort, it's about being here. And even within New York, the difference is drastic. In Brooklyn or Queens, that same million can buy nearly twice the space. Still expensive, still urban. But suddenly, there's room to breathe. In Manhattan's luxury towers, though, space becomes a rare trophy. And once apartments stretch beyond 100 square meters, prices don't rise gradually. They explode. In Europe, the rules quietly change. At first glance, it feels familiar. Cities, apartments, daily life. But something about the space feels different. European cities grew long before skyscrapers and steel frames. Instead of building upward, they expanded outward. Neighborhoods were designed for walking, for history, for everyday routines. In Paris, buildings are dense but rarely tall. In Berlin, strict regulations shape how high and how far a city can grow. In Madrid, space spreads differently again. Wider, looser, less compressed. Because here, value isn't created by squeezing space to its limits. It's shaped by layout, livability, and the structure of the city itself. In Madrid, $1 million buys 124 square meters. 2 bedrooms, high ceilings, a balcony overlooking the city. Large windows pull natural light deep into the apartment. Rooms are clearly separated. Living spaces feel wide, calm, and grounded. Nothing folds away, nothing is stacked. Space isn't negotiated here, it's given. The same money that buys 60 square meters in New York buys twice the room, and a slower rhythm of living. And if you move just a bit outside the major cities, the contrast grows even stronger. The same budget can suddenly mean more openness, more privacy, and a completely different lifestyle. Not extreme luxury, but a noticeable shift in how space is experienced. But now imagine a place built very differently. A city designed for scale, speed, and visibility. A place where modern development dominates and wealth is far more concentrated. What would $1 million buy there? That city is Dubai. Now let's look at a city built on a different timeline. This isn't a place shaped by centuries. It was planned quickly, built vertically, and designed to pull in global wealth. Here, luxury isn't tucked away behind history. It's visible, concentrated, embedded directly into the skyline. When entire districts rise at once, scale changes everything. Space behaves differently, prices behave differently, luxury behaves differently. And that's where Dubai breaks the pattern. Because with $1 million here, the result rarely looks small. 124 square meters for $953,000. 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a full sea view. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the horizon. The living space is open, seamless, and deliberate. Kitchen and lounge flow into one continuous room. Everything feels new. Polished surfaces, clean lines, quiet luxury. In Dubai, space isn't rare. It's produced. And when space can be manufactured, $1 million starts buying an entirely different kind of life. Move away from global finance hubs, luxury developments, and investment-driven cities, and the same amount of money starts to mean something completely different. In several African cities, the price of land can change dramatically within just a few streets. Not because of size or quality, but because of access. Access to roads, access to water, access to stability. So what does $1 million even mean in a place like this? Does it buy luxury? Cape Town, South Africa. For $947,000, you get space most cities can only dream of. 238 square meters, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, parking for 3 vehicles, a private plunge pool right off the balcony. Natural light fills the open living area. The layout feels generous, almost effortless. Bedrooms are en suite. This isn't New York's vertical crunch. This isn't Dubai's engineered luxury. This is room to move. What happens in a place where almost none of that applies? A place with no market, no cities, no permanent residents. Can you even buy a home there? And if you could, what would $1 million get you at the South Pole? The truth is, permanent settlements barely exist. Only research stations, only temporary structures. $1 million won't buy a mansion, but it could fund a fully equipped station. Heated rooms, laboratories, storage for supplies, and protection against the harshest weather on Earth. Space here isn't luxury, it's survival. And that makes you wonder, what does value even mean when comfort and function are measured in degrees below zero? If you enjoyed this journey around the world, don't forget to like and comment which place surprised you the most, and hit subscribe if you want to see more unusual homes and extreme architecture.